I did another psychedelic trip, and I kid you not, the mushrooms told me to talk about them. And you might be wondering how, when, and why did they tell you to talk about them? And I'm gonna get into this in a minute here and give you some backstory context. But if your curiosity is there and you're excited to know, smash the like button. And here goes. This is gonna be a little bit of a lengthy one. So, for a long time, I've been very curious about exploring consciousness and understanding how the universe operates and yeah, stuff like that. Vibrational frequencies, manifestation, reality creation, energetics, all of those kind of topics. And basically, ever since I came to Bali and did my first bigger mushroom dose, I was amazed because at that point, all of these books, reality transurfing, law of attraction, the secret, think and grow rich, all of these kinds of books, I understood in theory what they were saying of how one is manifesting and how things have vibrational frequencies and you need to raise your vibrational frequencies and so forth. But now I had this moment after this mushroom trip the first time 1.5 years ago in Bali that I actually experienced it for real in person. And I have another video that I think it's still up on YouTube. So I'll link it somewhere, and you can go back and check that at some point if you want. But in there, I shared a bit of like that when you're on a bigger dose of mushrooms, you're finally able to experience and realize that everything that we see, there's so much more to it. We don't see everything that is actually there. We see, like right now I'm seeing an ocean. You might hear in the background. I'm sitting at a beach and the dogs are running around, right? And I'm looking around at nature and plants. But if I was on shrooms right now, I would experience the energetics as well. I would see the energy and almost like as if I could see the emotions around my hands and fingers and the sand and yeah, our dogs, the plants. I would see them like that they are almost vibrating with energy and that they are living things, that they're living and alive. And not only can I see it, but I could feel it as well. And this is not just me. This would go for anyone who tries mushrooms and yeah, in a nice environment like this, far away from technology and the rest of the hectic, distracting world. When you're in a environment of peace and you can feel in the environment. But anyways, since then I've been amazed about consciousness because that's what the time I experienced it for the first time. And since then I've done a number of things. For one, a workshop quite recently, a couple of weeks ago, and this feeds into my recent mushroom experience and how they told me to talk about them. So at this workshop, Alchemy of Purpose, we got to look into our astrological birth chart and as well as the origin meaning of our birth name. So, in summary, what I got out of this workshop was that I got to understand that my name, Christopher, is short for Christ, which is sort of like a bearer of light and consciousness. And I'm supposed to contribute to the collective awareness, the collective consciousness, so to speak. And then I have my middle name, John, which is a summary for compassionate leader. My last name, Appelgren, which is basically apple branch, translated from Swedish to English, is grounded in nature. You can think of an apple branch that is grounded in nature. And yeah, it's funny how I also, it makes sense to me when I'm at a beach like this, I'm sitting grounded, and or I go into the ocean. Yeah, I really feel rejuvenated and recharged, and that could be a connection there where I'm really supposed to be grounded to nature as well. So grounded to nature, compassionate leader, and bearer of light and consciousness. And the astrological birth chart told me something similar as well, of that I'm supposed to do all of this while traveling. And I was like, traveling? What does that mean? Well, you're supposed to travel and meet people. And as you meet them and you're passionate about them and you learn new things from them, you bring them on to your podcast, Deeply Aligned. And you have a great conversation where the dogs are running around and playing. Having a great conversation with them about consciousness, and you bring that into the world of social media. But yeah, after that, I was even more intrigued than ever before, and I thought, like, well, if that's supposedly true, that I'm supposed to be a bearer of consciousness, like, in what way should I speak about consciousness? And that became my intention for my recent psychedelic mushroom trip. It's very important you go in with an intention and you're looking for answers or clarity. So that was my intention. I went in and I asked, if I'm supposed to speak about consciousness, in what way should I speak about it? And long story short, quite funnily and quite ironically, the mushrooms responded. And yeah, it was quite a trip in a way of like many senses, a lot of things happens, right? But it felt like they were playing, like we were in this sandbox of having fun, and they were playing with me. They were playing with my senses, and we were having fun. But after a while, I was like, okay, this is all good and fun, but I'm looking for some insights here. I'm looking for how should I speak about consciousness, and are you guys actually a thing? And they answered. It was like they answered with like, okay, let let us give you even more senses and a more experience. And it was that they gave me like this brain orgasm in a sense where I like felt like a mental massage of like it was intense. And okay, you guys are there. And then they also said, yeah, you want to speak about consciousness? Well, we're here. We exist. Why don't you speak about us? And I'm like, I guess, yeah, fair enough. Like, I believe you. Like, you are here. I know you're existing. And I don't know what you are. We can call you mushrooms, or we can call you consciousness, or we can call you maybe you're part of my subconscious or super conscious. I don't know. Still wondering to this day, and I'm having these conversations with a lot of friends in the space who's experienced with psychedelics, and their theory is like, yeah, maybe it's something out of us, like extraterrestrial beings, aliens or something, that are speaking to us through the mushrooms. Maybe it's our higher self. Maybe it's connected to our own intuition and we know it within. Still need to explore that. But yeah, they told me to speak about them. And here I am doing this video. And this is, I guess, one of these first videos where I'm trying to bridge the gap between what I've been speaking about before on this channel, which is mainly online business related stuff. And I want to get into more and more of these kind of topics: consciousness exploration. How does one create their desired reality? How do we surf with, yeah, surf the waves of vibrational frequencies and use that to our advantage? Or being aware of it, and kind of like, as we're now aware of, like, we need to take care of our health, for our physical health, mental health, or eat healthy, or work out, exercise, or stuff like this. We also need to think about more from a first principles level of, it's not anymore about these common sayings of like, you need to master your emotions, or you need to master your mindset. yes, we do need to do that, and that is all related to the vibrational frequencies. Because what is vibrational frequencies? It's basically a form of consciousness. Consciousness takes the form of many, many things. It can take the form of these sand, physical sand atoms coming together and forming a tangible physical thing. It can come in the form of thoughts, intuition, emotions. It can come in the form of light. Light is, just it's just waves. It's light waves. And sound as well. Sound is vibrational frequencies in the form of, yeah, I don't know, like sound. And this is how also how it explains so well that we can change our mood quite easily with a good tool like music. And different kinds of music on different kinds of frequencies is gonna change our mood in a certain way. You might be doing 432 hertz with more like classical music like Mozart or Beethoven, or that is more soothing, more calm. We get back to focus. Then you have other vibrational frequencies that heightens gratitude or love, compassion. Yeah, you can look up a lot of different sound frequency music, right? And you can see the different hertz, and you can get a you can look at what the understanding and chakra is behind them. But yeah, it all feeds into this. And yeah, I'm just rambling now, but the mushrooms told me to speak about them, and I love this. I know that I am truly fascinated about this, where this is on my mind a lot during the day. And it brings me into the thoughts also of like online business in general, and what is a deeply aligned business, a deeply aligned life. My thoughts there is basically that in the beginning, you're trying to make money and you're trying to survive with your business. But as you keep on checking those things off, you're going into more of a stage of that you're trying to be in search for passion, fulfillment, what you're truly interested about. And that to me, I think, yeah, can't only speak for myself, but for me, I think that should be the dream and the ultimate business where you are teaching others what you're truly passionate about. You're teaching others, you're advocating for it, you're spreading awareness and messages for it. And that ultimately becomes your personal brand. It becomes the thing that makes you unique because now you're having no limitations and no blockages for speaking about anything that interests you and that you are actually curious, fascinated, and excited and passionate about. So when I think about my own journey of going away from this marketing agency and then into coaching business and some further alignment of working with clients that I would enjoy working with, and it's way more fun these days. But ultimately, it's this podcast that I created, the Deeply Aligned podcast, right, where I bring in people. We have a lot of conversations about consciousness and spiritual things and exploring things that is the unknown to me and to many others, where I don't know the answers at all, but I just know that, fuck, isn't it fascinating? So, with this said, I'm in no place ready to teach anyone about this. This is just a documentation phase where I kind of share what I'm experiencing and what I'm, what's my theory are on these things. But I urge you to think about this as well. Where what are some things that you're still holding back on? What are some things that you're interested in, or actually even very passionate about, that you're not speaking about enough? Whether that's in a hangout with your friends, whether that's on social media. What are some things that maybe you're still hiding within yourself because you're not sure that others would welcome that. You're not sure that it would be received well, right? You're not sure what kind of value that would bring to others, but leave that aside for a minute because that is what life is about, in my opinion, where we try to become more self-aware of like what do we value ourselves, what are we interested in ourselves, and communicate that out into the world. Because it's not until you start communicating that out into the world that people can actually, yeah, I guess, realize and understand that you are about that. And you will be surprised that there are many people out there who will go like, damn, I'm also about that. I'm also interested into those things. I'm also on a journey of that type of exploration, whether it's spiritual or business or personal development in some sense, right? And then the conversation starts of like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Can we collaborate? I love what you're doing. Or can you teach me about it? How can I learn more? Another question that has been coming up a lot lately within my friend group and on my recent podcast also with a great guest that I'm so excited about releasing now. That's all about psychedelics and spiritual topics. But he said he formed a question of what would you do if you truly loved yourself? Or what would you stop doing if you truly loved yourself? What would you start doing if you truly loved yourself? What would you keep on doing if you truly loved yourself? Well, that's something I ask myself also. Okay, I'm feeling a little bit of resistance of speaking about these kind of things because I'm still so far from an expert in it. Just dipping my toes so far, in my opinion. But if I truly love myself, and this is what I enjoy talking about, and I'm passionate about it, why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I go to the beach with my doggos, sit down in the sand, bring some coconut water? Wish I had a real coconut. Yeah. Bring some coconut water and just speak for a while into the camera. Scriptless, not much more than a title and a little bit of sense of like what I'm gonna cover, I guess. Why not? Why not if I truly love myself? So, yeah, guys, I hope it fascinates you as well. All of these things, like how the universe operates, how, like, what's more to it than this 3D, three dimensional reality that we live in here on this earth? What's in the 4D? What's in the 5D? And if you haven't tried mushrooms yet or any other psychedelic, I do really recommend you to try it. If you're worried about, if you're worried, doubtful and fearful, or that it's gonna be something scary or something very uncomfortable, just start small. Start with a small dose. Maybe hit someone up that can guide you in a session. I know many people, so if you're interested in that, hit me up and I can share some contacts. And yeah, just make sure that you go in with a a clear intention of what you would like to get out of it. Be open minded, be open to the mushroom or that specific psychedelic to guide you, and trust in that they have your best interest in mind. They really do. Because at this point, after after quite a few experiences now, I started to build a relationship with these mushrooms, and I know that I can trust them and that they are very safe and they're very harmless and they're very playful and loving and compassionate, really. So once again, I would start with an intention. I would go in a safe environment, in the safety of your own home, maybe. Could have a great friend there by your side who you know you can trust, who maybe can babysit you and hold space for you if you need it. If you need, whatever, trips to the toilet or food or other things near you, or just a holding hand when it gets scary. And then also with the dosage, don't start with a big dose. Start with a smaller one, maybe 1 gram, maybe half a gram, or maybe even try a few microdoses at first. That's completely chill, and you will realize how yeah the real reality starts to unfold in front of you, and you will understand that we're all connected, whether it's to natures, to animals, to other people. And yeah, you will get further into your own truth. That's what's so amazing with this, especially mushroom. And I haven't done ayahuasca yet, or but yeah, as well as acid or LSD or these kind of psychedelics. That they are bringing you further into alignment. They are bringing you further into your highest self and your highest truth. And you will get realizations of like, wow, I think this is my dream, and this is what I really want to do. And I knew it all along, maybe. I always knew that I wanted to go after this or move country or whatever it might be. And then you'll find more courage to do so because it becomes so clear to you why you want it and also what's holding you back or what's been holding you back for from not doing it in the past. We all come with a life's purpose, a life path of sorts, and we have a soul's journey. And I think that's the thing we're here to figure out, first of all. We're here to figure out our soul's journey, what we're here to do in this life. And then also figure out like how can we remove these blockages that's hindering us or holding us back from going after that. Because in the end of the day, I'll leave you with this, the last thing here of this video, that imagine you're at your deathbed at the end of your life and you're thinking back about how you lived your life and all the memories, all the experiences, and what if that at that point you realize that you have a lot of regrets, regrets of why did I stay in this job that I didn't like, or maybe I even hated, and it was just comfortable, and I stayed there for like years and years, maybe decades. Why did I stick around in this relationship that was toxic and I deserved so much more and there was no love left? Or why did I take the safe bet or the safe choice of just remaining in my own hometown or my own country when I had the desire of traveling and exploring and adventuring and seeing a bit further and taking some risks? What if I have all these regrets of things that I didn't go after? And here I am at the end of my life, and yeah, I didn't take the opportunity to live life to the fullest. I didn't take the opportunity to live my fullest potential. I'm not even close. That to me, when I think about that, yeah, if there's anything that gives me drive and more courage to like go after, my biggest aspirations and dreams, it's that the feeling on the other side of those regrets. That would be a nightmare to me. What a shame. What a shame. So yeah, not to leave on a negative tone here, but you get my point, and I hope it's helpful with these exercises because in the end of the day, we do all want to be able to go after it because we do deserve it, and life should be lived to the fullest. Once again, if you haven't checked out the last video that I posted basically 1.5 years ago, also when I first came to Bali on my first mushroom trip, check it out. Um, I think it's an interesting one where I explain what I experienced at that time with vibrational frequencies and energies and that kind of stuff. See you in another video, guys.